Hi, this is Nutmeg. You may know me as Malor from the Timeless Proto-Drake video, and I am loving Mist of Pandaria.
Good morning, Internet. This is Amherst with MMO Anthropology, and welcome to another interview. This is Nutmeg playing her panda, which means that we're in the Mists of Pandaria expansion. So, how are you enjoying that so far?
I'm enjoying it pretty well, actually. I was very excited to hear about Mist of Pandaria when the news broke at BlizzCon last year, and I've almost been counting the days to release ever since, and keeping up on all the updates, and I'm really overall pleased about everything that they've changed with the patch and the expansion and everything, like the account-wide achievements, the account-wide mounts, which, oh my god, for my guild has come in very handy, and just meeting up with anybody. And let's see, the starting quests for the Pandaren characters, it's some of the best opening questing you'll do in this game right now.
Yeah, I loved it personally. I had a lot of fun with that. I see that you brought along your Creepy Crate. Oh wow, it makes noise.
It does, and it makes all kinds of different colors, and it makes critters' lives miserable. Yeah, as you'll probably see during this interview. Oh,
yep, like there it goes. It just ate a rat.
He had it coming.
Well, so why did you choose... giggle, giggle. So why did you choose to hold this interview in World of Warcraft?
What better setting to have an interview about World of Warcraft in just any place in the world? But I particularly like the undead starting zones like Brill and Deathneil and all those other places because, well, I just have like a lively fascination with death, and I think their cemeteries are awesome, and well, it is coming up on Halloween. That's a small factor.
Mm-hmm. Just so that everyone watching knows, that's where we are right now. We're in the undead areas. Actually, one of the first cities that you visit as a baby undead, which is Brill, and as you can see, we're sitting around in a graveyard.
That is great!
No kidding. So tell us, what kind of MMO games do you play on a regular basis?
Well, when I first started with MMOs, I primarily just played one. I played Star Wars Galaxies back when it was still new, before the distributor and the company, Sony, before they essentially ruined the game. And I think since we're both Star Wars Galaxies veterans in here, yep. I'm pretty sure anybody else watching that remembers that game, they probably know what we're talking about, but Google has all the answers if you don't know. But I took a very long break from MMOs for, I want to say, about maybe 6-7 years because I just didn't have time for it at the time. And right now, all I play pretty much is World of Warcraft because it's held my interest the longest. I've met a lot of really, really amazing and ultimately sweet people in this game. Let's see. It has the most amount of characters that appeal to me, and just the creatures I like to play, which are typically non-human characters. Like
the panda?
Oh yeah, that's definitely one. I also really love the Tauren and Worgen, as you may remember my character Malor from the Time Lost Proto-Drake video.
Indeed.
Oh yes, I mean, the Worgen are still what I have the most of on this server. And I have played a little bit of, God, what is that Star Wars game right now? The Old Republic?
Old Republic, yes.
Yeah, and while I do really enjoy it, I just can't justify, having 2 MMOs that I play on a regular basis. So, WoW has my heart, and WoW has my time, so...
I think you've already answered most of this one, but the question is, what goes into helping you choose a particular game?
Well, first off, I do gotta say I'm really biased on character selection. when I played Star Wars Galaxies, the only two characters I played were the Trandoshans, which were pretty much lizard people, and the Bothans, which looked like miniature camels, sort of. But I played my Trandoshan the most because she was, at the time, the only non-human looking character, I want to say. And she was just, I thought she was wonderful. And typically, I may get some hate on this, but I am a furry, and I do really enjoy the quote-unquote furry races of an MMO. I have considered getting into some other games because they do also have playable furry characters, but, as I stated before, I don't have time for more than one. Another thing that draws me into a game, especially with World of Warcraft, is while there are a lot of buttons in the game, it's a really simple battle system to pick up. You don't have to wait for your turn, you just have to wait for your cooldowns to become active again. And I just really like all the different crafting things you can do in this game. And granted, I know some people will complain that World of Warcraft would be better if you had your own player housing, but personally, while I liked that in Star Wars Galaxies, and some people like that in other MMOs over the years, I just think that would be too much clutter for this game. I think it would bog it down insanely. So I kind of like not having player housing. But,
especially because, well, this is Azeroth. It's a continent rather than a series of worlds. There's really no place to put player housing. It would have to end up being instanced in some fashion or another.
It would be. And I think for how long World of Warcraft has been around, it's got the staying power. It is the #1 MMO, despite what many people will say. And I think there's already plenty to do and explore in this game. And we can just wander around capital cities or small cities like this and whatnot.
I'm particularly interested in your mention of the fact that you're more into the anthropomorphic animal characters and the furry aspect. Does that mean that you found yourself particularly drawn to the Pandarens as soon as they came out?
Well, when I first heard about the Pandarens in Warcraft 3, I actually thought they were really cool. And Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3 were actually my first exposures to the Warcraft world. And when I found, through playing Warcraft 3 numerous times when it was still pretty new and getting my tail kicked many times, and just seeing all the different anthropomorphic races they had in the game, like the Tauren, some of the creatures they had in, or for the neutral factions, and all that sort of thing, I just became more, drawn to the whole Warcraft thing because of those variant races. And I thought it was really cool that something that was gaining such popularity in the gaming world at the time was focusing on anthropomorphic characters. Different anthropomorphic fantasy characters, I mean. Because, every fantasy game has their elves, their dwarves, their humans, that sort of junk. But not too many things focus on werewolf men or... it's been a long day for me. I'm kind of drawing a blank. But
that's fine.
Like minotaurs, we have all sorts of rideable griffins in this game. It's you name it, it's in this game just about. And for how much of a fantasy fan I've been over the years, it's really helped keep my interest. And I've been a player for almost 3 years now.
Oh, how do you use online games, especially social ones, differently than you do other entertainment, such as books and movies and watching television?
Well, I guess this one has not so much replay value, but I want to say continuous play value, because even when you get your character maxed out to what's now level 90, there's still plenty for you to do. I mean, they really decked things out with Mist of Pandaria. Once you get to level 90 and you get to doing those heroic dungeons, I mean, the Mist of Pandaria raids haven't even started yet. There's no access to them.
Oh.
But there is so much to do right now with reputation grinds to get your next levels of gear. There's other reputation grinds to get your flying dragon mounts and new pets and all sorts of neat things. I mean, there's even a pet battle system in the game now that's very similar to another game we probably know of called Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And strangely enough, for how much I grew up with Pokemon, I have not tried the pet battle system, but all of my guildies say it's fun as heck.
All right, now this one is a doozy, and I ask everyone that comes on. Do you have a favorite or a most memorable experience in an MMO game?
One that I can probably say in general public, right?
Yes, that would probably be best.
I have all kinds of stories, but let me think of one in particular. Well, I know in our last interview I chronicled my 2-month wait with Time Lost Proto Drake pretty well. I would probably say one of my most favorite memories of the game in recent history, that of course didn't involve some rare creature or something. I would have to say when my current guild, the Free Company of Kathavar, we were a bunch of people that defected from another guild on the server, and we were the most active group of people in that guild for a guild of, I want to say, there was about 700-800 people at the time that I joined, and this was only about a month ago. I met up with one of their officers on my current Horde main, Skyhoof. She's a paladin. And I was actually going between guilds at the time. We're going to sit because it's story time now. I met up with one of the officers, and he just happened to whisper me at the right time and was like, "Hey, you want to join our guild and come on a raid with us, maybe?" And I got to talking with him for a little while, and I did manage to go on a raid with him the following day. And I was so impressed with how quickly they managed to get through Dragon Soul. That's previous content now, but, killing Deathwing's always fun, especially if you can do it in one night. Mm-hmm. Which my previous raid groups had not been able to even get halfway through the raid. But these guys just knew exactly what to do. And they didn't screw around, they didn't get pissy over gear or DPS, which at the time I personally thought my DPS could have been better. Mm-hmm. But, they weren't worried about it. They thought it was cool. And just hanging out in Vent with them and doing this raid for a couple hours, it had such a great effect on me that I dropped the other guild that I had left to take Skyhoof into, and I joined up with their guild. And it's been a ton of fun ever since, and I honestly can't thank them enough.
And Deathwing, he's basically the gigantic dragon aspect from Who Caused Cataclysm. Is that the last raid of that expansion?
Yes, that was the absolute end of the Deathwing story arc for right now.
How many people can get it? How many people is that raid?
Well, I would expect it would be easier to do with less than 10 men now that, so many people are getting to level 90, but typically it is a 10-man raid. Excuse me.
Sorry.
It does still have the potential to drop a mount on a couple different parts, which we've seen it drop a couple of times, and thankfully the others in my guild have gotten it instead of the guild that we left. Let me see. There is a 25-man version of that, and Well, considering there's only about maybe 15 of us in the guild, but we're very active, don't let the small numbers fool you.
So
we're always on.
You ended up going in there with 9 other people?
I sure did.
Awesome. Well, this is about as much time that I've got, so we're going to have to sign it off here. Here, let me line up with you. Hello. Hi. Nice panda. But
well, does the interview have to end now?
Yeah, unfortunately, I like to keep them under 15 minutes. Aw.
But it's so much fun.
Well, let's say goodbye to the nice people for watching. Thank you for coming along to another MMO Anthropology interview. And let's thank Nutmeg for sharing her experience with us. And to the rest...
It's always Dancy Dance time around here.
Indeed, here. And to the rest of you, good night and good dreams, and have a dancing panda.
Bye-bye.
Do you play online games? Do you have Skype? Then we'd love to interview you on Massive Online Anthropology. Join the fascinating thousands who've spoken about their online gaming experience and be the envy of all your friends. Or at least get the MMO Anthropology Geek Merit Badge. Sorry, no t-shirt. See you then!